Hello OET students, this is Alex from Swoosh English and I've got a fantastic grammar tip for you today on how to improve your OET writing, your referral letters, transfer letters, discharge letters, whatever kind of letter that you can experience in the examination. This grammar tip will help you significantly in order to improve your scores. Remember that grammar is, you are assessed on your grammar in the examination, so it's really important to make sure that you have mastered the correct English grammar. I can't stress how important this is because I see so many grammatical mistakes in, when I go into different Facebook groups and I see people writing letters and posting them in there. And that's the first thing I should say as well. The first start of the process in order to improve your grammar is to find a teacher, a good quality OET teacher, preferably a native English teacher or someone who has helped other students before to get A's and B's. And first off, when you are posting your letters inside like for example with our students, our VIP students, they post them in a Facebook group, and when you are posting them in that group or you're sending the letters to your teacher via email, when you get the feedback from them, you need to look immediately at what mistakes they have identified with your grammar. Of course, that's obvious. You want to know from beginning to end, where are the mistakes lying? Are you having issues with articles, the difference between at and the, at and the, for example, or are you having difficulties with writing in the passive voice? For example, she was involved in a severe car accident, okay? So a lot of people have difficulties with that. Could it be that you're not writing in the past tense correctly? Whatever it might be, you will, after quite a few letters, and even in the first couple of letters that you've posted and you've got feedback from your teacher on, you're able to then create a grammar checklist. So ideally, it could be over the course of 5 to 10 letters, and you can start to see patterns in where you are making your mistakes. So for example, you could write in your grammar checklist, you could write different categories. You could write articles, passive voice, adverbs, prepositions, etc. And then when you go to all of your letters, you can see, okay, letter 1, I made a mistake with adverbs, so you put that into the adverb category. I've made mistakes with past tense, I'm going to put that in the past tense category. So then hopefully you've got a list of mistakes that you've got for each and every category, a list of mistakes for passive voice, a list of mistakes for articles, a list of mistakes for past tense, etc. And then you can start to see what you need to do to improve. Then underneath that checklist, you can write what was incorrect, so what was your original sentence, and then what the teacher corrected, so the correct. Okay, so two columns, incorrect and correct, and you can see next to each other the difference between what was right, what was wrong, and what was right, and then you can start to do example sentences based on the teacher's corrections. Now, this is bearing in mind, this is taking into consideration that the teacher's corrections that they are giving you are correct. Because some teachers, I see the corrections that they're making and they're not correct. So just make sure you've got a good quality teacher to do that for you. So you see the corrections that they've made and then you start to do sample sentences. So you don't necessarily, my advice immediately from those grammar corrections that the teacher's giving you is not to just keep writing letters and letters and letters, but just to practice those particular short single sentences or a paragraph, for example, where you're able to practice the corrections that the teacher has provided you. So perhaps you could relate them to different kinds of tasks, but just a couple of sentences or one sentence or a paragraph, just in short supply, in a short couple of sentences, what those corrections are, and you'll really start to see the difference after a while, and you'll be able to categorize your mistakes into different categories, and you'll be able to know with much more clarity than most other students where your mistakes lie, because a lot of students go into the real exam, they don't know what their mistakes are because no one pointed it out to them, so they didn't know in advance, and they didn't know because they didn't know what the mistakes were, they didn't have time to actually correct those mistakes. So it's really important that you know the mistakes first off in advance, and then you practice what the corrections are. And I can guarantee you that you'll start to see improvements in your OET writing grammar. Very, very important. So make that checklist today. Let me know how you get on with that. And I'm sure it will make a real difference to your writing. Our OET 7-day challenge is opening up very, very soon. So if you are interested in that, where we go into detail and correct your writing for you, give you feedback, tell you what you need to do to improve before your upcoming examination, go to swooshenglish.com/OET-challenge. If you've got any questions on today's video, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.